Has the final leg of this crypto cycle started? Are we about to get that pump that we've all been waiting for such a long time? That's what I'm going to break down in this video. First things first, I'm Jake on Block. I'm a crypto growth hacker, founder of Web3's growth engine, Magnet. And right now, I'm an extremely happy dude because Bitcoin is setting all-time high after all-time high, touching $118,000 this week. And on top of that, Ethereum is rocking $3,000 a token. And on top of that, Ethereum has had over $900 million worth of net inflows from institutions this week alone. Are the institutions saying, right, it's time to rip the Band-Aid off, it's time to send this industry? Let's get into it. So firstly, as we all know from previous cycles, we need Ethereum to move so that alts can move. This is how it has always played out, because people start to rotate their gains from, say, ETH and Bitcoin into smaller altcoins. And obviously, some of those gains are in the multi-million dollars. And if that comes into a small altcoin, it can send an altcoin. And what happens as well is that people get FOMO. They miss Ethereum, they miss Bitcoin. They want to get the next big thing. The money hasn't flowed to alts yet. Let me get into alts. Let me see some amazing gains on alts as well. So this is the general thesis that people are trying to cling on to. Now, the other thing is that summers are never really that buoyant for crypto, right? We're pretty much in the middle of summer right now. We're in July. And a lot of people thought that we'd get this last leg of the cycle later on this year in Q4. But instead, we're starting to get that positivity right now in the top end of the market. And then people are thinking, okay, this is starting to fly. If ETH keeps going up, Sol keeps going up, Bitcoin keep going up, then the altcoins are going to follow. They're going to all start going up. And then max FOMO kicks in, max hype, speculation, everything kicks in, and this cycle gets going. And now, although this is unusual, this has been a very unusual cycle so far. So many things have happened in this cycle that we've not seen before. So I wouldn't put it past having a really strong summer, and then when everyone thinks we're going to get another kick in Q4, we get nothing. The truth is, no one really knows. We just have to analyze what is in front of us and try and make opinions based on this. The next point I want to get into is, why is Ethereum moving? Well, Ethereum's narrative changed a little bit, right? It went from being just a token into being a yield generating infrastructure, right? So institutions are beginning to stake ETH to earn a reward. That's one thing that Ethereum brings that is benefiting these institutions. The second thing is that Ethereum is legacy like Bitcoin is. It's not obviously on the level of Bitcoin, but it is legacy. And a lot of institutions see this. Now, from where I'm standing, Ethereum has a lot of issues from a technological point of view as to why it won't continue developing. It's slow, it can be very expensive when there's a lot of congestion on the network. And that's pushed new builders onto L2s. It's pushed builders onto other L1s like Solana. It's allowed other ecosystems to flourish. And there's a point in time where you have to look at Ethereum and think, okay, is this going to be the next BlackBerry? Is it going to be the BlackBerry of mobile phones, but in blockchain, right? Where BlackBerry kind of absolutely tore this new industry up in the smartphone world, but then got overtaken by Apple. Was that going to be, you know, Ethereum getting overtaken by Solana or other blockchains that are coming out left, right, and center at the moment? So with its interest now from institutions, that may be flipping a little bit. Because if institutions are going heavy on this, they might think, you know what, we can have more benefits than just holding Ethereum other than just price appreciation, such as with staking. On top of that, it's been around the longest. It's the most battle-tested blockchain for things like smart contract functionality and projects to deploy on. And we believe that the Ethereum team are going to be able to make those upgrades to the network, which they're obviously been pushing towards this year, harder than previous year, to kind of keep that position as the leader in the L1 space. And like I said, Ethereum progressing, there's so many alts that are on Ethereum. Ethereum moves, we see rotation. Now, my next point is that maybe we won't see as big of a rotation. My thesis here is that a lot of the money that is going into Ethereum in previous cycles has been retail money. So retail take their gains, they then put that money into the alt market. Whereas institutions are putting their money into Ethereum. They're not going to start rotating their gains into 5, 10, 20, $30 million market cap alts. However, if Ethereum goes up, we're still going to see the retail come back in, put more money on the table, FOMO into the smaller market. So there will still be movement, in my opinion, in the alt market, but maybe not as big as people think, because we're not going to have the rotation coming from retail pockets back into the lower end of the market. We're not going to see as much rotation from institutions downwards. My next point is that this is a very different market than what we've seen before. We have institutions in play here, buying Ethereum, buying Bitcoin, doing all of this stuff, but also building, right? So here we've got BlackRock, which have launched their fully tokenized on-chain fund now. It's got 500 million plus in TVL, and it's on Ethereum. On the other hand, you have World Liberty Financial, Trump, right? Building something within the crypto space. You've got these huge players that are now arrived. It's not just degens building projects, and that's it. On top of that, we've got DeFi TVL, which is climbing steadily, which is led by protocols like Lido, Aave, and of course, Uniswap. We're seeing a lot of growth on that side. The retail sentiment is starting to shift a little bit. We've had a lot of fear so far this year, but now users are starting to explore even things like NFTs again. I mean, NFT floors are massively up at the moment, and this is what we didn't really see when we thought we've had like fake pumps in the last 6 to 12 months. We're seeing a lot more movement, a lot more building, and also liquidity spreading across different markets in this industry, like NFTs as well now. So I guess my opinion to this question is that I don't see us slowing down here. I feel like we have started, the train is moving. There's more and more big players getting involved in this industry every single day. We've probably now started that movement, and to the level that we see rotations into other parts of the market is yet to be decided. But the point is that we are in a very strong market now. You look at Bitcoin, you look at Ethereum, you look at Solana, you look at these top coins, the interest coming back into coins like Pepe surging 80% this week. These things don't happen if people aren't positive around the market. It's very weird timing, but now all of this has started and people are putting their bets on the table. I see those bets staying on the table for a little bit of time. But I do think that the last leg of the cycle is going to be more short-lived than we've seen in previous years. I hope I'm wrong, but it's just my gut feeling. And I feel like this industry still needs a huge change after this cycle finishes. There's way too many tokens that do not need to exist. Liquidity is way too fragmented, and there needs to be the regulatory frameworks and these new acts and bills that are being discussed at the moment at very high levels to come into place. So there is going to be a big change, but I feel like where we are now, we might have that bullish last leg of the cycle, and then this industry is going to change. So always be forward thinking about, and don't get lost in the euphoria of the moment. Think about what is next and how that's going to impact you. So I would love to know all of your opinions. So let me know in the comments. Do you think that this is the last leg of the cycle? It's arrived, we're here. Do you think that it's not, and it's going to happen later on this year, or maybe in 2026? I don't know what you guys know. So let me know in the comments. And of course, I'll see you on the next video.